Hello and welcome back to this series of episodes that I've been making on a light restoration on a Peugeot 205 diesel. You can catch previous episodes, I think I've made 2 of them so far, about various rust issues that I found on the car and also just how much I paid for the car and how impressed I was when I bought it. But what I want to do is talk to you about some of the bits and pieces that I noticed on the car were missing and things that I actually had kicking about that I stripped off a car, a 1995 petrol 1.1 that I couldn't sell because I had gearbox failure. This was probably back in 2017, 2018. So in this case, a lot of these parts have come in quite handy, and also bits that I've had left over from GTIs over the years, which I kept just in case I ever had a fender bender or anything like that. So let's have a little look and see what I've got left over so we can make this car a little more complete. Right, first up, one thing I did find in the attic, it's been there for a good couple of years, is this parcel shelf. Now this is in really shabby condition, as you can see. This started off as a light grey, and if you ever watched the Wheeler Dealers episode on the 205 GTI and the infamous bodge job that Mike Brewer did when he picked up some parts from a scrapyard, is he said that you could spray paint this and get the colour that you desired for it. At the time they needed a dark grey / black one. As you can see, this didn't quite work out because I spray painted this to how they did it. And what they don't tell you is once you start moving and flexing this, that it goes back to the original colour because it moves direction, and spray paint will only cover the direction that it's actually sat in to begin with. So if you're going to try this at home, just don't bother doing it. So what I would have needed was actually a dark blue one for this car because that matches the Malibu interior. And this is a light grey one / dark grey nightmare. So it'll do for a meantime. It's better than having no parcel shelf there at all because you don't really want a 205 doesn't have one because you can see straight into the boot lid. Next up, I found this, which is a bit of a bonus really. This is a 1.6 GTI rear boot sort of spoiler / lip. And what I'm going to do is, this is quite an easy thing to fit to the car. So you've got sort of 4 screw points that you need to put in, 4 or 5. And it just screws in. Makes the car look aesthetically a little more pleasing, I think. Nice little bonus. Next up is a steering wheel. This one's actually in much better condition, as you can see. It's not so worn. It's a 3-spoke sort of late one they did. The GTI ones have sort of leather on them. These are just rubberized. And that'll make the car look a little bit nicer and sort of make it look a little lower mileage than it is as well. So nice to have that, definitely. I noticed when I was under the bonnet, there was no jack. So I found one of these up there. This one's been oiled previously, so it's actually not squeaking or anything like that. And I probably will use this to get under the car. I don't actually have a trolley jack, which is going to be a problem when it comes to wax oiling the underside of the car. So we'll have to use this, and I probably will take 2 of the wheels off and just prop them under the car to keep it nice and safe, because these aren't the safest things in the world. In fact, I would say there's probably a million other things that are safer than these to use if you're getting underneath the car. But it was missing, and we do want to try and get the car as complete as possible, so it's nice to have that. Next up is I needed some door handles. Basically, the car was missing the door handles, so I do actually have a set of these in black. So that's the phase 2 ones that I needed. So I'll fit those onto the car and make it look a little bit nicer, but we'll take door cards off as well because we need to have a look at that window, don't we? So there's no point in fitting that until after we've done that. Speaking of the window, I found this window channel. I think this is actually off a 5-door car, but I will see if I can fashion this to fit the 3-door if it is a case of the channels rotted on the side and this is the reason why the window is not going up. But it could very well be the side channels where the window guides through, that it could be rotted somewhere up there. Again, we might need to fashion something just to get the window closed again. It shouldn't be the most difficult thing in the world, but again, that will be a sort of budget job that we'll have to do there just to keep the costs down. The side trims are missing off the side of the car on the rear quarters, so one of them is present but the others are missing. So I found these up in the attic. I was plain sailing when I found the black ones, but sadly I didn't have a matching black one for the other side of the car. They've only got this one that says 1.6 on it, which is obviously off a GTI. But what I might actually try and do is spray paint this black, or try and get a of the period decal to go over the top of this. Naturally, don't want it saying it's something when it's not. And certainly a 59 brake horsepower diesel 205 isn't really going to match the 120 odd brake horsepower that you get from a 1.6 GTI. So next, the door speaker card covers. These are actually on the car, but they're grey. I think they're like phase 1.5, and they need to be matching to the black because the rest of the decor of the car is black. So I've got these, and I'll sell off the grey ones at some point because I should imagine they're probably a little more desirable than the black ones, considering that they would be earlier than that. Right, that's the other door handle. This is quite an interesting one. The central locking should be working with the car, but seems to only operate on the driver's side. But the gotcha with that is that the key doesn't actually work in the driver's side of the car at all. So what I've got here is a replacement barrel with a key, and it's got my Ma's initials on it from when she owned our original 205, our very first one. So it's kind of a cool little callback. So yeah, that key there is going to do the operation of actually unlocking and locking the car, and hopefully the central locking will work as it should do from there. So it does when you push the pins down, but it is French, so anything could happen there. And last but not least is a Clarion radio. This was missing in the car, and this is actually of the period, this Clarion ARB 1170E, and this is what would have been found in the very late 96 base models. You get some sort of illuminated bits and pieces on the side and stuff like that. I don't think these ones did because it doesn't have the proper push-in button. It's just like a little static push button. But as long as I get the radio working, I don't really care about the tape deck so much, but as long as I get the radio working, or at least fill the gap for the meantime, then I'm happy as Larry with that. And that basically covers everything I've got for today. So what I'll do is do a video probably tomorrow now, because tomorrow's Sunday, of all these bits and pieces actually fitted to the car, bar probably this, which I might take a little bit more time to do once my drill's charged and stuff. So I'll catch you next time. See you later.